Hey, keep it real, man. Okay,
Yeah.
was that fight fake?
Pin it up.
What do you think about Almighty Suspect getting sentenced to 4.5 years in prison?
Man, that's really unfortunate. Like Almighty Almighty is a dude that I've known since he was like 10, 9 years old. Um, some people might not know. I think most people should. His father is Rifleman LA Cool, who's one of the most legendary MCs in LA history. Um, Going back to, you feel me, Project Blow, you feel me, Good Light Cafe, Hip Hop Clan, all that, like real, just legendary underground, CVE, all that, like real legendary era of underground hip hop in LA. And he's one of the stylistic auteurs um that really shaped a lot of people like myself. I grew up looking up to those cats. So like Cool is kind of like an uncle type figure to me and most of us out here in the scene. So I knew Sus when he was baby Cool essentially, and it was just like his son. And then got to see him come into his own as an artist in his own right. And I think it was dope because he was kind of born into underground hip hop royalty, and he could have easily. No, I understand that's a burden as well. Like I don't envy Chris Rivers' position and people like that who are really talented, but they're born to like legend. I guess it's kind of like me with my father being a legendary filmmaker and shit. Like there's these expectations and there's this pressure and there's a lot of bullshit that comes with that. That's not cool. That people shouldn't necessarily have to endure. I don't envy that, but at the same time, like it, it's complicated, bro. It really
Yeah.
is.
Well, people were really getting on him.
But like,
People were really getting on Suspect though, saying that
okay,
he's
so
taking the easy way out by going to the fire camps and stuff like that. But
yeah, so okay, so yeah, so Sus, he could have taken the easy route and followed in his father's direct footsteps as like an underground hip hop icon, but he decided, probably because like at a certain point he just wasn't as moved by it, and you're gonna want to go against the grain of what your parents think is cool. And my old gym teacher ain't supposed to rap, you feel me? So at a certain point, the youth fit a youth when it comes to this rap shit. He went in a completely different direction and wanted being like doing like the LA street rap, which is very different from his dad's direction, although like his dad's a respected gang member and all that from back in the day. And so it's not like he's forward to that. That element does exist in his father's music, but in a very different capacity, in a completely different scene. And Sus became kind of like, definitely became a stylistic innovator and auteur in that lane. Dreadful the Ruler, Rock of the Plug, Almighty Suspect, Frosty the Snowman. Those are the four innovators musically of that scene. You could throw Greedo in there too, you know what I'm saying? In a different way. But they created a lot of the styles that all the popular rappers from LA to this day are running with. And so I give that young man his props. And then we started working together at No Jumper, which was a pleasure. At times we had rocky situations and things like that. And we actually engaged in mutual combat fisticuffs on his front lawn. Um, Beat the dog shit out of me. Um, but it was a good, like it needed to happen. And him going to
keep
fire
it real.
camp,
Wait,
like,
wait,
bro,
wait, 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 wait. Hey, keep it real, man. Okay,
yeah,
was that fight fake?
no, no. People always saw like, honestly, like, I wish that I damn near maybe I'm gonna talk to Almighty about like releasing the whole fight footage because I it looks like that's the whole fight. That's not the whole fight. That was just like the final punch. We had 3 rounds. We had 3 rounds. He knocked me down 3 times.
Because it looked like he barely hit you and you just took a dive.
That shit hurt, bro. I don't know what the that's crazy that that's what it looked like. Cause like, bro, I had like a little, like the fake scars, like the little baby scars that go away. You feel me? Like a deep cut. I have one of them jaws on behind my ear for like half a year. And that fool cracked the shit out of me. You could see me like I went live shortly after and I was bleeding like, and I was numped the fuck up the next day. It wasn't from my bitch. It was from me, you feel me? Like, actually, yeah, full no, like, so basically what happened was me and all my, obviously, like, he's like a nephew to me, right? But when I got fired from No Jumper, I was kind of like, you're not on the best terms. Admittedly, I didn't really like when I look back at the way I was super emotional and how I behaved during my first tenure in No Jumper. It really bothers me. It's because I was sober. And I think that might have endeared me to a certain contingent of viewership over there. And I think it was good because I was being very close with my genuine, unfiltered self. And that's always good from a content perspective. But I was also like really hypersensitive and didn't have the defense mechanisms and like of the drugs that make me nonchalant and let shit roll off my back or, you know, not give a fuck as much that is kind of required to be successful in such a harsh environment like it was over and still is over there. Um, so like certain things that I was taking to heart and being emotastic about, I would not have been affected by now. Hence, I didn't have a lot of the same snafus with my coworkers and fellow cast members like I did on my previous tenure. However, like, like we weren't on the best of terms when I left No Jumper. It kind of resulted in the ultimate 2026. I guess at the time it was 23. Fuck you, which is an unfollow on Instagram. You feel me? Like, ooh, friendship over. You feel me? Like, oh, I seen that fool unfollow me, being the fucking gangster that I am. What the fuck you think I did? Unfollow that motherfucker. Bye. You feel me? Like, bye. You feel me? Like, so being a tough ass gangster, I don't follow back. He was only right. So that culminated in not really like a cold war, but there'd be just kind of like little subtle shots thrown. If his name was brought up, I wasn't jumping out the window to do him any good graces and vice versa. That's probably the most kindest way I can say it, right? Then in early 2024, it was like January or February of 2024. I want to say January, he released a record. And I remembered him being very critical of my rapping. And I was like, oh, I feel like I saw that people were being kind of critical of his new song. So I was like, oh, no, they don't like this song. And he was making fun of my music. Me and this guy aren't getting along right now. Why don't I just make fun of his music? I didn't even dislike the song for real. You feel me? Like, actually, looking back on it, it was pretty tight. He was low key snapping. And the fucked up thing, it was now the song was called True Story Part 3. DJ True, that's Suspect's uncle, Cool's brother. You feel me? Another OG, like big homie Tigger to me. DJ True, rest in peace. You feel me? Has not been with us the past few years. Suspect has a song series called True Story. This one, like, my biggest critique in my head about it was like, I don't hear you talking about him in the song. But like, that's not even, it's deeper than that. So, like, for me to even have that critique is kind of fucking weird and baseless if I'm not even really trying to do the song justice. And I'm kind of an extra big asshole because even though we're not getting along right now, you're still like the nephew figure. You know what I'm saying? I'm older than you. Like, I've known you since you were a kid. I was a grown ass man. You feel me? Like, I'm still fucking 15. I don't know how old the suspect now, if he's 26 or 27. I got, at least 17 years on him. You feel me? Like I said, I was a grown man when I met him in my 20s, and he was a child. So, and we got into these these beefs or whatever, these disagreements when he was in his mid 20s, early 20s, and I was in my early 40s, you know, be late 30s, whatever. And he so like I went low key fake viral for making fun of the song, and it wound up actually getting me invited back to No Jumper. And that wasn't the reason why I was invited, but it was like a viral moment. And Adam and them had been wanting to bring me back for a while, or had been entertaining the idea. I had did put my guns down, but I was aiming at them. I'd been firing at Adam for a good 5, 6 months prior to that. Even when he had sent a few my way, I didn't let it go when I would be quick to jump on anything that was sent from that camp towards me before. Um, so, and then my first appearance back on No Jumper, Almighty winds up calling in and we're talking about it. And I said some crazy shit. Like I said it, like, I said some shit that wasn't true. Yeah. So I called that fool a rat and I knew it wasn't true. And, obviously I'm 3 sheets in the wind at that point, and I'm just trying to say whatever I can that is going to make me look cool and hurt him without really any regard for the consequences. The problem is somebody who I actually have a relationship with, him, his entire family, his pops. You feel me? And I knew if I wanted to keep that relationship, there's only one way to do it, and that's to run the fade because he said he needed that. And my fade days are behind me, and I was never the most formidable fighter, even in my fucking Rocky Balboa days. I didn't get where I'm at by being a tough guy. You know, like if anything, I got where I'm at by being chill and cool as fuck and endearing people. And even like the most treacherous killers love me a lot of times because I'm not afraid of them and I can see the human aspect in them, the humanity in them, and I don't like shy away from it. And I'm not like I, I don't know if it's like a biblical quote, but I always heard Smith and Wesson say it. I always thought it was so tight. The evil that men do. You feel me? Like always talking about the evil that men. That's one of my favorite phrases. You feel me? Tech and C would always talk about that shit. And like I'm well versed in the evil that men do. You feel me? But I'm not like Mr. Tough Guy. And now I'm in my fucking 40s. I've been doing drugs for decades. You feel me? Like whatever whatever coordination and athleticism, I done smoked that shit the fuck up out of me at this point. So I just gotta rely on the just balls to the wall insanity, you know? So but I knew that like awesome LA shit, this being Fade City, USA, is the only thing that was gonna make us be able to coexist and not have awkward energy. Because we are close enough that we could fight, smoke a blunt afterwards. No one's gonna do no weird shit. No one's gonna get jumped. Nobody's gonna jump. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna get down and be friends again afterwards. And that's exactly what happened. You know. And then
Do
we
you
wound up.
regret though, like the approaches that you took in that situation? Because like, what was stopping you guys from just getting on the phone or talking in person before about like, yo, you crossed the line or whatever?
No, 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 no. I did. I tried to like. You think I wasn't like, hey, bro, we should totally fight. Like that wasn't like that wasn't what I was trying to do. I was like, hey, fool, like my bad. Like, I'll clear it up. Like he's like, yeah, it's all good, but we just gotta get down, fool. You like once we get down, it's good.
No,
And I was like,
I'm
I
talking
tried
about
to.
in general though, like all the times that you guys were going back and forth and right? Like why was that done so publicly? Why instead of just like getting on the phone?
Okay, two things. One, like the whole point of like our interactions was to have them be on camera. And that was like we're on essentially or like an unscripted reality show where it, it's like a combination. No Jumper is a combination of a talk show and a reality show. It's like every episode is the reunion of baddies, essentially.
Right, right. So
You know what I mean?
it's played up, but sometimes it's taken personal though. Then
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, I wouldn't even say it's played up. I would just say it's not ignored. It's emphasized. Like, played up is to connotates that it's disingenuous. Like, no, it's just like,
mm.
this is something that actually exists. Instead of like doing the PR thing, doing the smart thing, and skirting the issue, let's fucking put it on blast and talk about it and get millions of views off of it and monetize it. That's why Adam is kind of a smart dude.
But it's a little more difficult because you guys actually had a genuine friendship before even No Jumper. That's why.
And okay, so I'll say this right now. Here's why I don't regret anything. Here's why I don't regret anything. Me and Suspect are closer than we've ever been. You feel me? Like now, like before he was just my nephew because I was cool with his dad and looked up to his dad. You feel me? So he my nephew. You feel me? Like now, like I can really say he my fam.
Got
Like
you.
we
Okay.
really like we done scuffed our chucks. We had good, bad, and ugly. We have stories. You feel me? There's no mystery in our history. It exists. And I love Baron, Tompkins Jr., Almighty Suspect. I love them as a human. No Diddy, you feel me? That's my dog, though. That's my boy. That's my nephew. You feel me? Like that's my homeboy. I respect him. We never would have been this close if we didn't. Like if I wasn't so dumb, and also he was fucking dumb too. So it's like, and he was dumb in the sense that he's young and ignorant. You feel me? And you couldn't tell him shit. He's in a much better, not dumb like he's not. He's always been hyper intelligent, damn near to his own detriment at times, right? But you know how that goes. That's like all of us
Mhm.
in this fucking island of misfit toys that is the Panda Shop channel. Like, you know what I mean? Like th- we're all we all got a little bit of that going on, you know? We're all too smart for our own good. That's
Right.
the recurring theme of Panda Chop guests. But, hip hop side. But Sus, like, like he did not give a fuck and he was super turned up and he was super ignorant and was leading into that. And now, like, and this is why, like, to go back to your original point in your original question about people making it a big deal about how he chooses to do his bid. I don't give a fuck. I want my fucking nephew, my homeboy, to get home safe. You feel me? To his daughter. You feel me? Like, he's not a gang member. So he's going to go to fire camp, which, by the way, I'm not sure if people know what that means. That, we have a lot of forests in California. One of the biggest issues plaguing the state of California every year is our forest fires and Smokey the motherfucking bear and all that shit. You feel me? Like, so we done, we have our prisoners, they can opt out of, having to do their full term of their sentences and they go put out these gnarly ass, they jump out of lanes and put out these gnarly ass fucking forest fires, potentially risk their lives. Um, I think it's a pretty fair trade, to be honest with you. Like logistically, from like, okay, you done fucked up. You done goofed, buddy. You done goofed. I'm not talking to us. I'm talking to whoever is convicted of a crime. You feel me? Like, and I don't believe free everybody if they didn't do a sex charge. If you're not in for a sex charge or hurting, you feel me, kids or no weird shit, free you. Free all the fucking killers. Free all the bank robbers. Free all the fucking, you feel me? Free all them. Free all the dope dealers. You feel me? Free them GTAers. Free them. All the gang members. Free them. You feel me? Like, free them. Lock up the pedos. You feel me? The BDFs. All their fools. Free everybody else. With that being said, you done goofed, buddy. You done fucked up. You got caught. Now you got to do some time. What better way than to actually contribute to society? Hey, you're risking your lives. It's a net win for everybody. But people somehow that has less credibility than being on a certain yard, which would keep this guy away from his family for even longer. When he admitted to himself stepped away from the gang life when he was like 19 years old, 18, you know what I mean? Like 10 years ago, you know, he's not a gang member. I wouldn't give a fuck either. Send me to fire camp. Even though I'm 10 toes down, mainline, if I get locked up, you feel me? But still, send me to fucking, like, send suspect to fire camp, bring him home to his daughter. I ain't got kids. Put me on mainline. I ain't got kids. He got kids. I just got shit to live for. Put me on mainline. But I ain't do nothing wrong, so you ain't got to send me to mainline. I'm just saying, no, put me in fire camp. I want to come home. Fuck that shit. I don't want the fact that people have the audacity to judge this grown man when none of them, like, the percentage of them that have actually been incarcerated is so small. Like, you've never been in this situation. Sus didn't rat on nobody. He didn't do nothing janky. He got convicted of some dumbass shit. You feel me? And he's got to do a soft 5 years. If he could get home in 2 to his daughter by fucking helping put gnarly fires out, let him do that. And he don't lose any credibility in my eyes. Anybody that looks at him differently, unless you're like a career felon or have done more than 10 years in the feds, shut the fuck up.
Right. I mean, it's a smarter move regardless. Like, who wouldn't want to take less time? And I mean, yes, it's more dangerous from the fire perspective, but I'm sure like from like the inmate to inmate perspective, it's like, you know, not as dangerous. Like, you're not trying to kill each other as much.
That's the whole point. But that's why they look down upon it, because
I know, but what I'm saying though is like, that's a smarter move regardless. Like, do you want, why would you want to be in that kind of environment if you don't have to though?
The thing is this, the only time I would advise against it, and just from like a logistical standpoint, and even if like if suspect was an active gang member and his career and his future monetization of his craft was dependent upon this niche group of people having some image of what his street credibility is supposed to look like, then I would advise but that's not the case in this instance, you know what I mean, in any capacity.
Right. And he doesn't have to tell on anybody either.
No.
So like, and then
No,
he
no,
doesn't.
so if this entailed him doing some bunk shit or doing some shit that really the streets is gonna
No
look
Crime
at,
Stoppers ad, nothing like that.
not even a Crime Stoppers ad, which I'm not mad at. Like, I'm not even mad at CI's Crime Stoppers ad. You feel me? Like, but I understand people having an aversion to that, you know, but he didn't even, there's nothing like that. All this entails is him literally risking his life to put out fucking gnarly forest fires and not having the same degree of gang politics when he's not even a gang member. So what does it matter? He's not from a gang.
But that's what I'm saying though. It's like the reasoning, the logic behind this of why people are upset is so dumb, because it's like he's really not doing anything that's that bad that you could really hold against him.